Can you spot anything different today? I'm not in my little reading room. I'm in my garden. It is such a beautiful, beautiful hot sunny day. I thought I'd come and read to you outside. And my dog is lying. I don't know if you can see her. Can you see her? She's having a lie down over there in the sun. So we'll let her have a little sleep. And we will get set up for a Jeremy James story. Now this is a new one that I got because I heard that this was somebody's favourite. Please keep off the dinosaur. And this book is all about a time when he went to visit London. Now, have you ever been to London? Or maybe been to a big city? It's really exciting, it's busy, it's noisy, and there's lots of new things to see. So there are lots of stories in here about when he went to London, and the first story is called Hello London. Is London bigger than the High Street? Asked Jeremy James. Much bigger, said Daddy. How much bigger? Asked Jeremy James. Oh, hugely bigger, said Daddy. It's bigger than the High Street by as much as an elephant is bigger than a piece of cheese. Jeremy James gasped. Then it must be hugely huge. It is, said Daddy. And it must have lots of toy shops. Thousands, said Daddy. Can we go to all of them? Asked Jeremy James. There are other things in life and London, said Mummy, than toy shops and sweet shops. Now finish your breakfast, or by the time you get to London, it will be time to come home. Jeremy James and Daddy were going to London to see an important lady. Is she the Queen, Daddy? No, not quite. She's Mrs. Robinson. They would spend the rest of the day seeing the sights and would spend the night in a hotel before driving back tomorrow. The name of the hotel, much to Jeremy James's delight, was called Hotel Jeremy. Daddy had chosen it especially because, he said, a hotel with a name like that just had to be nice. Mummy would like to have gone to London too, but decided that it wouldn't be much fun wheeling the twins around all day. So Jeremy James has got 2 little twins in his house now too. Jeffer go Lundy, said Jennifer. Another time, said Mummy. Quiffer London, suggested Christopher, hoping it was something to eat. Not today, said Mummy. She would take them to the park instead. It wasn't so far. London was a very long way away, and so Daddy wanted to leave as early as possible. Mummy had already packed Jeremy James's bag, and soon he was all ready to go, smartly dressed, hair neatly combed, face freshly washed and teeth whitely brushed. It took Daddy a little longer to get ready. First, he couldn't find some important papers that he was to give to the important lady. Then, he couldn't find the important lady's address. When he found the important papers and the important lady's address, he couldn't find his street map of London. And when he had found the map, he couldn't find the car keys. Daddy was very bad at finding things, though he said this was only because he was so good at losing them. Mummy found the car keys in the medicine cupboard. Oh, Lexi's coming to join me. Come to say hello, Lexi. No, she might come up in a wee minute. Mummy found the car keys in the medicine cupboard. They should have been in Daddy's jacket, but they weren't. There were some headache tablets in Daddy's jacket. Shouldn't these be in the medicine cupboard? Asked Daddy. Eventually, Jeremy James was strapped into the backseat of the car, and with cheery waves and loud goodbyes, he and Daddy drove off down the street, swung round the corner and glided slowly and silently to a halt. I knew there was something I had to do last night, said Daddy. What was that? Asked Jeremy James. Get some petrol, said Daddy. Later, Jeremy James and Daddy found themselves in a long, grey street with a line of cars ahead of them and a line of cars behind them, and none of the cars were moving. Can you see that? You ever seen something like that before? Do you know what it's called? Let's see if Jeremy James knows what's going on. Have they all run out of petrol, Daddy? Asked Jeremy James. No, said Daddy. They've all run out of room. This is London. It was a traffic jam, wasn't it? But if London's bigger than the High Street, said Jeremy James, there should be lots of room. There is, said Daddy, but none of it is where the cars are. The cars all moved forward a few feet and then stopped again. The car next to Daddy's was being driven by a bristly man who suddenly got out, waved his fist and said some words which sounded like some words that nobody was supposed to say. What's he saying, Daddy? Asked Jeremy James. Oh, something like, oh dear me, I fear I shall be late, replied Daddy. He didn't say that, said Jeremy James. Well, he may have put a few worthless whorples in, said Daddy. The traffic did eventually get moving, but it wasn't very long before Daddy began to wonder where they were moving to. Somehow the streets of London seemed to have shifted from where they had been on the street map. What should have been a left turn must have been a right turn, or what should have been a right turn must have been a left turn, or maybe they shouldn't have turned at all, and oh dear, it's a one-way street. As Daddy lefted, righted, scratched his head and wondered, Jeremy James saw something he had already seen before, which was a little surprising since this was his first trip to London. I know that sweet shop, he cried. I expect you do, said Daddy. We passed it 5 minutes ago. At last they turned into a street that was full of houses without any shops. And there Daddy spotted a lady in a uniform. He pulled up beside her. Excuse me, said Daddy. You can't stop here, said the lady. I know, said Daddy, but I'm looking for Welbeck Street. You're in it, said the lady, but you can't stop. You're on a double yellow line. Well, can you tell me where the nearest car park is? Asked Daddy. I can, said the lady, but you won't be able to park there. Why not? Asked Daddy. It's full, said the lady. Where can I park then? Asked Daddy. Follow any signs that say car park, said the lady, and hope for the best. Off they drove again through the streets where there was no parking, past parks with spaces and no cars, and past car parks with cars and no spaces. Finally, they came to a flashing sign, and Daddy let out a cry of triumph. Ooh! And they drove down a dark, twisting tunnel, past rows and rows of parked cars, and eventually into a space that was just right for Daddy's car. Now I know, said Daddy, how Columbus felt when he discovered America. They left the car in its special space, left their cases in the car, and walked out into the grey daylight. Jeremy James noticed that the street was full of paper bags, bent tin cans, newspapers and cigarette packets. Are we near the rubbish dump? He asked. No, said Daddy. We're in it. They now had to find Welbeck Street again. Daddy took out his street map, turned it upside down, looked left, looked right, and looked lost. Can I help you? Asked a shabby little man with a stubbly chin. I'm looking for Welbeck Street, said Daddy. Then I can't help you, said the shabby little man, and he walked on. By the time a kindly policeman had shown them the way to Welbeck Street, Mrs. Robinson, the important lady, had gone to another appointment. But she had left a message. She would meet Daddy and Jeremy James for lunch the next day if they were still going to be in London. Judging by today's experiences, said Daddy, we'll be lucky if we ever get out of London. So that was the first thing that happened when Jeremy James and Daddy went to London. So maybe tomorrow we'll find out a little bit more about his adventures. So you could maybe have a think about the last time you went on holiday. I was supposed to go on holiday in the summer, but we're not going to go now. But I've lots of lovely memories of holidays that we did go on, and I've got lots of photographs of holidays, so I might get those out later on and have a good look at them. See you later.